Times we have seen characters flashback or forward in Bluey, from reuniting with crush to meeting with your future wife. We've seen all sorts of flashbacks and forwards in Bluey. So in today's video, we're going to look at different times where Bluey's characters have flashed back and forward to future. Now, let's dive right into the video. Number 1. Bluey and Jean-Luc reuniting again in the future. In the episode Camping, Bluey runs off to play in the creek where she meets a new friend or a potential crush, and his name is Jean-Luc. Although Bluey and Jean-Luc don't speak the same language, they still play together while playing pretend and tormenting Bandit. Bluey and Jean-Luc become good friends, and when Jean-Luc leaves without saying goodbye, Bluey becomes sad. Chili consoles her and reminds her that the world is magical and that they may see each other again one day. At the end of the episode, through a time skip, we see later when Bluey is in her teenage years, her family camps at the same spot where she first met Jean-Luc, and she ends up running into Jean-Luc again. This reintroduction is a happy ending to the episode, and for Bluey since she had been waiting years to meet him again. Number 2. Baby Bluey learning to walk. In one of the most loved Bluey episodes, we see Bluey struggling to catch up to judo during the baby race. In Baby Race, Chili explains the process of teaching Bluey to walk and how the girl wanted to do everything else first, from rolling around to bum shuffling. Bluey seemingly couldn't grasp the prospect of walking like judo could. Having lost the baby race, Chili lost confidence in herself as a mother, which is something most parents can relate to while watching the show. Since raising a child is one of the hardest things anyone will do, feeling like a failure makes everything much harder. Throughout this episode, we watch Chili tell her daughters the story, and witnessing it ourselves, being able to experience firsthand what Chili was feeling through the flashbacks, makes understanding her pain much simpler. Number 3. Bingo and Lila being friends forever. In the episode Daddy Drop-Off, we see the girls quickly becoming friends. Even though Lila is usually shy, Bingo allows Lila to break out of her shell a little to help her new friend. For the rest of their day in school, the girls play together, and what began as two quiet girls barely able to talk soon turns into an unbreakable bond between them. At the end of the episode, Bingo says she hopes she and Lila remain friends forever, and as she's saying this, we see pictures of the two girls throughout life together. Number 4. Chiles Childhood. While Bluey and Bingo are running away from their mom with their granddad, we watch as Chili struggles to keep up with them. The only thing spurring her on is her worry about her father overexerting himself or getting hurt. Although the three avoid her for a while, Granddad explains to Bluey that their mom grew up inside the woods that they were running through, and Chili would eventually find them because of this. While they continue to run away, we see flashbacks of Chili running in the forest when she was young, and how she taught herself to get around. She uses her sense of smell to track them most of the way, and as she examines a piece of cloth that fell from a kid's shirt, we can see a carving in a tree behind her. Carved into the wood is Chili's name, stating that she was there, and it seems when she was young, Chili decided to write it. Number 5. Bandits Childhood. After reading his daughters a bedtime story, Bandit decides to tell them a real fairy tale, one that is true. This one happens to be about him when he was younger. But as the story begins, we see Bandit back in the 80s as he explains to Bluey and Bingo what life was like back then. On the edge of their seats, the girls hold on to every word he says, as Bandit tells the story of learning his lesson about teasing his brother. We see more about his life when he was Bluey's age, and his brothers Stripe and Radley when they were young. The flashbacks allow us to experience what Bandit did firsthand, until we see Chili when she was the exact same age. Although she denies it's her, the story seems to say otherwise. Number 6. McKenzie getting lost. One of the sadder episodes of Season 3 is when we get the backstory about McKenzie and why he acts the way he does while playing a space game with his friends Jack and Rusty. McKenzie wanders towards a tunnel they want to explore since the other boys are too scared to go inside. McKenzie decides he will do it even after his friends warn him not to, but he says he has to. We later realize McKenzie says he needs to go inside because it reminds him of something traumatic in his childhood. After experiencing a flashback to his childhood, we understand why. After coming down the slide in a park, McKenzie thinks he's been left behind by his mother. So this is all for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and until next time, have fun.